Notice when you're in there that nobody does silence. Nobody does stillness. You don't do that. Silence and stillness are not a doing. There's no effort in that. That can get it to move from a concept into being. Because you're there, you're in that moment, and that you're experiencing stillness and silence. You're not moving, and it's dead quiet. And nobody does that. There's no doing of stillness and silence. It's just happening as it is. That's your chance to try to bridge from a conceptual understanding of it into the inherentness of it, because you realize, I don't do silence and stillness, yet it is happening. That's what remains after all doing and effort have been relinquished. That's being. Nobody does being. Nobody does existence. It's just happening as yourself. And you're experiencing that directly and inherently. So the next time you're in self-inquiry, just recognize that. Recognize that there is a silence in your mind, regardless if there are thoughts coming up. The thoughts are coming up into silence. And stillness in your body. But nobody does that silence and stillness that you're experiencing. There's no individual there. There's no person left, or no person needed to do that which remains, which is stillness and silence. So, mental silence and physical stillness, nobody does that. Yet, it is happening. You're experiencing that directly. And at the time, you cannot deny that that is not happening. Because it is happening. But you're not doing that. It's seeing and experiencing what remains after everything has been relinquished. Because you're not going to disappear. You've already made the most courageous effort you could possibly make. And that is what I call crossing the manifestation existence barrier. You're allowing your attention to move away from the things that you've known your whole life, your mind and your body and your perceptions in the world. And you've actually have allowed yourself to attempt to see what's aware of your mind and body and world. From my experience, that's the biggest, most courageous effort any person, an individual can do. And it's And it's that awareness of your mind and body and world. The awareness is what remains, because you're relinquishing everything that's known to your mind. So what remains? Awareness. And awareness is silence. It's stillness. And it's resting into that. So in self-inquiry, try to recognize that your ego, your effort, your egoic mind, your egoic efforts does not do what remains. And it's drifting back into that and trusting that what remains, you won't disappear or go away or black out or morph into something that your mind's going to generate, right? Because your mind is going to make up things of where you're going. You're not going anywhere. And that's the trust. That's the continued trust. Like I said, you've already made the biggest move. Now it's continuing to trust, to relax into the awareness in which what remains, relax into that, and continue to let go of your mind and body and world. There's multiple names for that. I mean, you could say that's what's turning your attention around, that's retracting your attention. These are all just words for the same effortless effort, right? Because you're relinquishing effort, going back to the palm and the hand. You're here, and we're trying to go here, and that's no new energy into the system. Self-inquiry is a relinquishing of stored energy, stored tensions, stored contractions within us. It's a relinquishing of all of that. It's literally a transfiguration, and you get to experience the transfiguration of going from a physical body that we believed ourselves to be to a vaporous, substanceless, formless form. I mean, you have engineering background. It's just like when water phase changes into a vapor. You're going through that. So you're relinquishing the energy that's holding all of this together, and you're drifting back into the emptiness, the formless, which is pure awareness. And an ego cannot do that. And that drifting back into awareness is what we call enlightenment or liberation. And that is when awareness seats itself into itself. It seats itself. It recognizes its own existence. It recognizes that it doesn't have to leave itself to grab something other than itself, to then come back and know itself. It just knows itself by being itself. And again, an ego can't do awareness. Awareness is the absence of doing. It's just pure being that.